Good morning. This is WXON, Detroit, Michigan, beginning another day of scheduled telecasting.
Yes, sir, we promised you a great main event here tonight. Andre, the China WrestleMania!
Hulkamania is running west!
My God, what a It's how the world is watching!
It is Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. I don't know what day it is anymore, folks. Hey, it's Etep Wakuian right here for the Place to Be Reviews. Right back here with all of yous. It is Monday. Of course, it's Monday. We got a great show planned for you today. I have a very, very special guest. Let me acknowledge this wonderful chat, though, you guys joining me this morning. Let's see. We have superfan Adam Gashan, a.k.a. Pop Cyclops in the house. Brutal Morningwood paying some respects to our guest here with a world, a graduation hat to represent class, a bull, the poo emoji, and a thumbs up. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know who's here. Gap After Dark, one of my amazing mods here. Hail, sir. Welcome. Welcome. Let's see who else is here. Clone Geek's in the house. Hail, Clone Geek. Tina Bojan here. And Nerdette's Newsstand. Hail, Nerdette. Welcome, young lady. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, now, folks, I'm going to bring in our guest. But before I do, he has a very, very, very special intro that I play for him whenever he's on. So without further ado, ladies and gents. Mr.
Yes.
Jeff Hicks from the World Class Bullshitters.
Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? I would say welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture, but welcome to the Place to be Reviews this morning with me and Pete. Pete, I gotta say, I'm really happy that you used that music because it made it my life's goal to make sure that when people hear that song, they associate it with me. I have friends that have alarms that use that song that always think of me when they hear it. I got friends that play it and they call me on the phone and say, hey, the song's on. So thank you for playing the best intro in history. Axel Foley for the win. But good morning, everybody. What's up?
Oh, dude, good to have you. Good to have you here. Hail Hominis Nocturna. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, that is your intro. That it started out as a GIF. I'm like, you know what? No, that's when you came on. I'm like, that's Jeff's intro right there. I'm like, that's got to be his. So speaking of Beverly Hills Cop, they're doing a fourth one. What say you on that? How on a scale of 1 to holy shit, how nervous are you about this movie and its quality?
Well, much like the new Indiana Jones movie, what everyone has to remember is that the last Beverly Hills Cop movie, much like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, sucked. Beverly Hills Cop's only 2 for 3, so, and I really, really hate Beverly Hills Cop 3 to the point where I don't watch it. I got it on Blu-ray because it came in a 3-pack, but as Beverly Hills Cop's been getting released on 4K disc, I will not touch Beverly Hills Cop 3. I have no love for it. No, and the thing is, I don't really respect it because the people behind it have made great films. It's directed by John Landis, who directed Eddie Murphy and Coming to America and Trading Places. But it's not funny. The only thing decent is the plot that's like, oh, Inspector Todd got killed and he's going to go on a revenge mission. Makes sense. But then he goes on a revenge mission to essentially Disney World. It's full of hokey bullshit, terrible action scenes. The villain's garbage. Ellis DeWalt sucks. So, yeah, I don't like Beverly Hills Cop 3 at all. But Beverly Hills Cop 4 really has not much to... It doesn't have to do much to be better than Part 4. Or Part 3, excuse me. But I'm apprehensive, and I'll give you my number between 1 and holy shit. It's close to holy shit because holy shit was Coming to America 2 terrible. Like, I thought, I was so ready for that movie, dude. I love Coming to America. I accidentally bought it twice on 4K. I was like, fuck yeah, man, Prince Akeem is back. And they ruined the character because he got drunk and essentially was assaulted by Leslie Jones. It ruins the whole trope of him being like this pure prince that comes to America to find his queen, and all the fairy tale aspects of Coming to America are shit on because of some stupid people. So I'm worried that Axel Foley's going to retroactively somehow, these movies. So that's where my opinions sit.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on this one because Beverly Hills Cop 3, which I hadn't seen, God, since it came out around that time. I bought the 3-pack of the movies And it was when we were sick. We kind of binged them, me and the wife and the kid. And he loves the first two, the soundtracks, dude. When my son gets into like that kind of music, which he loves, like his musical taste, I've done a good job. Go from like 1960 to 2000 and just stop right there, like to the point where he knows how to work my record player now. Like he's, yeah. So he's a tiny gentleman of great culture. But that Beverly Hills Cop 3 movie, he couldn't even get into that one with us. Like I was watching it, going like, this is worse than I remember. Like there was nothing. There's nothing redeemable about it. I mean, it's just. I mean, outside of Eddie Murphy and was Judge Reinhold was in that one. I was just like, what? The second one was great. The first one is just a timeless masterpiece. But yeah, I couldn't get into it. And yeah, the fourth one, I have no anticipation for it whatsoever. I skipped Coming to America 2 because I heard it kind of turned him into like almost like a deadbeat dad. Yep. And I'm like, that's totally antithetical to what his character arc was in the first movie. Like you said, he was pretty wholesome. He just wanted a wife. He wanted his queen. There was nothing nefarious about. Now, Arsenio Hall's character was, the skirt chaser. He was the scoundrel of the two of them. So that I could expect from him, but not from Eddie Murphy's character. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's like most of these modern movies, like with Indiana Jones or Superman or Star Wars. They always make the iconic heroes absentee fathers. It's all this like deconstruction bullshit. It's terrible. And real quick, I'm glad you brought up the music of Beverly Hills Cop 3 because that's one of the number one reasons why I can't stand it. If it had a bitchin' score, I could sit there and watch, bad acting. But they got a different composer, Niles Rodgers, and that guy, I'm sure he's talented on his own, but man, he is not Harold Faltermeyer, so.
Yeah, Niles Rodgers, he's done a lot. I mean, a lot of other stuff, but just not Beverly Hills Cop. It's not. It could not. It could not be. Good morning, Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Hail brightest day. Commander Cody pursuing paranormal. My brother, what's up?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah, dude, Cody was just on Wednesday night. We're going to do a stream sometime this week talking some paranormal stuff, which is fun because I'm getting ready to do some actual like paranormal on-site stuff.
Ooh, I'll have to watch all that stuff because I'm a huge... when I work on comics and stuff like that, I put paranormal... conspiracy, iceberg, extraterrestrial, lost media. Like I like anything kind of creepy and weird as I'm working because it puts me in the right mood to just commit.
Oh, dude, yes, I have the second channel. We got Camp Crystal Lake. We got three videos up over there. I apologize. It's been like 2 months since I uploaded there. Life happens, folks. I apologize, but we're still here on the main channel. Hail Tolbat. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Tolbat is going to help me with my one of my NES classics. We're going to get some more games on there. The Etep files. Wait, I think I have.
The X-File sound effect.
Wait. I have. Hang on. Do I have it? I don't have that one here. I got this one right now. Hang on.
Is this Unsolved Mysteries?
Yeah.
Ken used to be afraid of this song.
Oh, I'm gonna have him on, and I'm gonna use this when I introduce him. I have an X-Files trap remix I use. But before we get into our first topic here, folks, let's see. I'll save that one because we're gonna talk a little bit of wrestling here in a bit. But I heard Jeff mention Indiana Jones, so let's hear from. Let's see. Let's go to a 30-second spot from WIRF 101 Detroit. The Riff.
I'd like to tell you about a fantastic radio station.
I'd like to tell you about a totally awesome radio station for sure.
Lots of radio stations are trying to imitate WRIF. I'm back to tell you that no one does it quite like Riff. There's our original 5-in-a-row guarantee, 3 Hart Plaza concerts, and of course, Riff's great rock and roll music. Plus,
JJ and the morning crew, Ken Calvin, Arthur Penhallow, Steve Costan,
and Karen Savelli.
In Detroit radio, there's Riff. And then there's everyone else.
Baby.
I have this particular brand we're on my Place to Be Reviews Live, I have all old school Detroit commercials. The WGPR TV logo in the upper right corner, channel 62, was actually the first black-owned television station in Detroit. And the background is WDIV4, the place to be, Detroit, Michigan. I collected a bunch of old commercials off of YouTube for this for the morning show, just to kind of do that because I worked in radio and stuff like that. I was like, I think this will just be fun to do. I actually have a couple of my old radio spots I did for our dealership. I found in my Google Drive. I'm going to upload those two just for fun. I have one I did as Samuel Jackson, and then I have a Tony Montana one I did, like fully explicit. We did them to work, like it was a work on my boss. The guy that recorded them from the radio station was like, "Hey, let's fuck with Derek." I'm like, "All right." So he's like, "Just go full Samuel Jackson." I'm like, "All right." So and then he goes, "Do a Scarface one." So I was like, "All right." I did a couple of those, but we played them for him when he's like, "All right." He emailed him the proofs, and his office like adjoined to mine. We had an adjoining door, and he opens his door. He goes, I hear him just laugh, and he goes, "Get in here." He goes, "Holy shit." He goes, "JT sent me those spots." He goes, "Here, I'm thinking I'm going to hear the actual commercials." And I hear, "Derek has lost his fucking mind." I'm like, he's like, "I'm not paying the $275,000 FCC fine for that." I'm like, "Hey, well, I'm worth it. I'm worth it." But what's not worth it is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. This is, they call it gloomy and depressing. I got that I've seen the trailer twice in the theater. Once when I can't remember what it was. They showed it before Guardians when I went to see that, and then something else we went to see. But the trailer looks bad. I feel sorry for Harrison Ford. It's like he's 82 years old, and they're trotting him out here, and it's just like it's cringe. It is absolute cringe.
You know, this makes me feel less bad about what I did to him in Stealing Solo. Death is better than Indiana Jones 5, so I'm just going to put that out there right now. But yeah, I saw the trailer when it first dropped. I rarely do trailer reviews, but I did a live reaction, which is on the channel. And then each subsequent trailer has made me roll my eyes a little harder. The last one was slightly better. Not because of the content, but I hate the modern trope in movie trailers where they do that slow, methodical reinterpretation of the theme song with one fucking piano note. Like, fuck Star Wars that did it. All this is terrible. Like, the only way I would ever enjoy it is if they ironically did it for Beverly Hills Cop 4. It's like if it was like super slow Axel F or something on a piano and it's just meant to be like a bullshit joke. That would be funny to me. But like, these movies all suffer from the same thing. It's this... We're going to trot out the old character, we're going to put some unlikable douchebag character with them, and then we're going to sell you the old character in all the marketing and all the merchandise and material, but not in the movie. We're going to make it about this new character so we can do something. And every movie's the same. Star Wars, Indiana Jones is going to be like that. The only one that didn't do it like that was Die Hard 4. They just brought out Bruce Willis, and he was better than the new guys, and then they kept making them, even though the fifth one's garbage. Like, that's how you do it. Don't bring Indiana Jones back to make him, it's thoughtful and introspective. Nobody wants that shit. Everybody wants to watch him fight Nazis, blow people up, open the Ark of the Covenant, ride on a horse, ride on a truck, hang from a whip, swing from a whip, save his dad, save the girl. Like, it's all about wish fulfillment and heroes' journey.
Yes.
Nobody wants to watch the heroes be broken down. That doesn't make the filmmakers smarter. It makes them lamer because they copy the same crap over and over. Clearly, I like Indiana Jones. Clearly, I got a lot to say.
No, and I appreciate that because I grew up with these movies. You know, I saw Temple of Doom as a little kid and Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then went to the theater in '89, which is crazy that we got Batman and The Last Crusade in the same year. I mean...
And Lethal Weapon 2, and James Bond, and Ghostbusters 2. The summer of '89 is considered one of the all-time greats.
Yeah. And going to see those, like, I saw Last Crusade in the theater, you know, and Batman. I didn't see Ghostbusters 2 in the theater. We rented that as soon as it came out, and my mom had 2 VCRs, so we copied it and then went back and did the same thing with Ghostbusters. You know what I mean? Hope the FCC doesn't come after me for copying video cassettes in 1989. But
I think the statute of limitation has been reached on that. I think you're safe, Pete.
I think it expired.
A long time ago.
God knows I'm old as dirt. But no, that movie, like that trilogy, like I bought those, and that's it. Like the fourth one I watched, I haven't seen it in its entirety, but I've seen enough of it to know that it's hot garbage.
Yep.
You know, a refrigerator withstanding a nuclear blast, aliens, you've juxtaposed Russians for the Germans, as it were. Nothing about that was good. I mean, Shia LaBeouf, if they were going to, I'm sorry, and this might seem cliche and overdone, but if they're going to replace Indiana Jones with anybody, if anybody is going to come in and take that over that role, it should be, I'm sorry, it should be Chris Pratt.
He looks the part.
He does. And he's got that. One thing I like about him is he's in Hollywood in a sea of just, and I hate using the term betas because it just, there's a sea of betas though. Chris Pratt still seems to be that old school masculine man. And I shouldn't even have to preface that, but today we do, you know, yeah. And it's weird. It's a weird thing to have to do, but I think he could play that role very, very well. But honestly, I would rather see them end it than continue this anymore. Like, just
same.
stop. Just stop.
Well, like, that's why when everyone on the internet says, oh, Indiana Jones 5 is going to be a huge hit, it's a return this, it's like, look, in 2008, we got all this shit you're talking about with Indiana Jones with the Crystal Skull. Like, any of this return stuff that they're supposed to be hyping up, it happened and it sucked. And real quick, let me take a trip back to 2008. I was actually so pumped for Indiana Jones 4. Like, when I was a little kid, because I'm slightly younger than you, so I grew up in the 90s. And Indiana, I was born in 88, so Last Crusade, I was not going to see it in the theaters at 6 months old. But I grew up with Indiana Jones on tape. I actually, my dad, when he passed away, left all of his stuff, you know, obviously. And one of the tapes he had was Temple of Doom. I used to watch Temple of Doom on repeat as a kid because when I would watch Muppet Babies, there was the clip of Indiana Jones running from the boulder. And I kept watching the Temple of Doom tape because I kept thinking I missed that scene. I was like, where's the scene with the boulder? So I watched Temple of Doom probably like 30 times as a kid thinking like, I must have stepped away. No. Long story short, though, I developed this love of Indiana Jones to the point where when I was a kid, all I wanted was an Indiana Jones action figure because without the internet being the way it was, I didn't know that there was a vintage Kenner version out there and I couldn't have afforded it as a child. And so the Indiana Jones 4 stuff comes out. I drank the Kool-Aid hard. I bought every toy that wasn't based on the new movie because I hadn't seen it yet, so I wasn't going to spend my dollars on it. I bought the cereal. I bought the Pop-Tarts. I bought the ice cream bars. I saved the boxes. I have Indiana Jones Pop-Tarts from like 15 years ago that are probably rotten in the foil, but they got the little Indiana Jones stamp. I mailed away for an extra copy of Raiders of the Lost Ark on DVD, even though I own every fucking version that exists. I was so ready to see this movie, and I had just gotten this new job at the 7-Up Pop Company. And they're like, all right, you can start today or tomorrow. And they were going to offer me whatever. I was like, look, I got to see this movie today. And then tomorrow I'll start. And that movie was Indiana Jones 4. And I was in denial. I didn't know if I liked it or hated it. And so when I got back to Michigan State for school that semester, they were showing it again on campus for free. And I went to see it again. And that's when I realized how much I hated Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It was bad on every level. It ruined the character. And Last Crusade should have been the last film. He literally rides off into the sunset. It was awesome. You saved... Like, look at every other movie, Bond ends with the girl. This ends with that. They're the tropes. Indiana Jones changed it up. Instead of going off with the girl, he saves his dad, his best friends, and him right off into the sunset. The girl was evil. Nazis were vanquished. Like, you literally cannot... Like, think of a better ending. No other fictional hero had a better ending. You could have done... Like, the Return to the Jedi ending's great. That's fine. Terminator 2's original ending is pretty good, but no one compares to The Last Crusade because it's the fucking finale. And the fact that they keep digging this guy up and just, really, they dig him up to beat him up, it's not cool anymore. It's almost sad. You're watching an 80-year-old guy go, why won't they let me just live in peace? I don't blame Hollywood. I blame Harrison Ford. That dude's got like almost $100 million, probably more than that to his name. You don't need to do this job. You don't need to do the role. You kind of did it to yourself, but now I'm getting into another topic.
No, and that's fine. I look at it like I'm in the same school of thought. It ended. It was literally the Last Crusade. that means the end. Anything further is just extraneous nonsense at this point. And that's, to me, that's what it's tantamount to, is just, it's a cash grab, It's a straight cash grab. And to attempt to usurp his role with Phoebe Waller-Bridge,
Ugh.
I mean, I can only vomit in my mouth so much.
It's just bile at this point, man. You're just puking up straight stomach acid.
That's it. It's like I got acid reflux. It is. It's bad. Let's see what Clone Geeks say. Indiana Jones in search for Dion's left testicle.
We're still waiting for that one to descend.
I thought his voice was plenty deep.
You should have heard him in college.
He wasn't singing that rich. He wasn't singing that rich. He wasn't singing that rich baritone in college, even. But
I'll send you some of our videos from college when we were all hanging out drinking. We all sound different.
Oh, I sound different than when I started this a little over 4 years. I can't believe I've been doing this for 4 years. Another couple years and I'll have equaled my time in radio on YouTube here. Actually, if you add up the first run I had on YouTube, which was 8 years? I started in 2006, like right when the platform took off. I was, but that's another story altogether. Anyway, that was literally, this has got to be one take because I have no idea what I'm doing on how to edit, and which is pretty much ironic because that's how I started here. Was like, well, you know how many videos when I first started, because I was putting out 3 videos a day because I wasn't editing them. It was like, this has got to be one take straight through. It's 1917, But, so Indiana Jones, Dial of Destiny, gloomy and depressing final act. I think that seems apropos for what we've discussed, based on what this movie's going to be. How bad do you think this is going to falter at the box office, or do you think the nostalgia is going to pull the normies and make some money? I mean, this has got, with all the reshoots they're doing, you're talking they'll probably have to make about $700 million. I'll look up the budget real quick, but what are your thoughts on that?
So I think there's 2 big possibilities, but I don't think they're as great or as bad as everyone would think. So let me just say it like this. Indiana Jones doesn't resonate with a certain portion of the audience. It's been so long since the character's been relevant. So let me put it in context. I'm 34. The last good Indiana Jones movie came out 34 years ago. I've lived growing up on the trilogy being this iconic thing. Indiana Jones was the action star, the biggest one ever, the biggest adventure hero.
Yep.
But then the 4th one comes out, and they do the South Park parody. Everyone kind of dismisses the film, and Indiana Jones goes away. That was, 15 years ago? We're living in an era where these kids don't know Indiana Jones and don't like Indiana Jones. So the nostalgia is only going to appeal to a smaller, like an older audience. But that older audience might be like a guy my age, might take his dad, and who might then take his son, aka grandson. Like, you might get that kind of stuff, but I don't see this movie making $1 billion at all. The Indiana Jones brand has always been... Indiana Jones has always been lesser than Star Wars in terms of like what it does at the box office. Not in terms of quality, because I would argue the original trilogies are on the same level. But I don't think this is going to be a huge hit. If it's a garbage film, you're not going to get young people to go see it because they're like, who's this old guy? Harrison Ford is what? And then, with prices being what it is, people with families might have to take care of other things or other responsibilities, or people with families might want to take their kids to movies the kids would want to see. This is not like... We grew up with these types of movies being cool for kids, and I'm not saying it's inappropriate in terms of content, but it's a bunch of shitty CGI, historical references that these kids don't know because they're not taught the same kind of history anymore in school, so they're like, what's this? What's that? Why does this guy look that way? Well, the world's changed too much for Indiana Jones to be relevant anymore, so I think it's going to err on the side of being a box office disappointment.
Same. I was looking up the budget, and Fake Thai Dude, good morning, Fake Thai Dude. Good morning, Keemon Bell and Adega Outlaw. $340 million budget, $800 minimum to $1 billion to make money. Good luck with that. Yeah, use that 2.5 times multiplier on that with that budget. There's no way this thing barely breaks even, and it's not surprising, honestly. Oh, hey, Etep Queen's place to be, everyone, friends. Oh, hi, Fake Thai Dude. How's your sex life?
You're my favorite customer.
We watched the Star Wars, the Room Star Wars thing on Saturday night a couple weeks ago. Absolutely worth it. I love that. Tina Bojan says, my boys' early 20s were excited for Indiana Jones 4 and enjoyed watching the first 3 movies to prepare for it. But you're right, they have no interest in seeing 5. Clone Geek says, I hope we get the trailer for the R-rated Kraven the Hunter film soon. I am very, very intrigued by that Kraven the Hunter movie. Who the hell was playing him? They got Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. And we're talking about budgets. While we're on the topic of Disney, we're gonna slide over here after some quick messages here from WDIV4 Detroit.
Saturday night on a special primetime Cosby.
I want to take flying lessons.
Flying lessons?
Find out if they have the right stuff. Saturday night at 8:30, only on 4.
He had the wrong stuff. Well, right by some people's perspectives.
Yeah. Apparently, the Jell-O pudding pops and the pictures with the Kodak paper were not appropriate once the girls were passed out from the Spanish fly.
No. Dude, again, that's another thing that's like, for people, at our age range, Bill Cosby parodies are great, but then like people starting to grow up now, Bill Cosby's persona non grata, those jokes will not land anymore. They'll be like, who's this voice you're doing?
Yep. Oh, dude, I made a Telly Savalas reference. I was like, "Who loves you, baby?" And they're like, nobody gets that. No,
I have his autograph.
Really, Kojak?
Yeah, Mike. Okay, this is a true story. My grandpa was an engineer in Cincinnati, back in the day, but he used to travel for work, and he and Telly Savalas were staying in the same hotel, and he would see Telly Savalas every day in New York at the pool. And so one day he walks up to him and he goes, "Hey, my wife loves you on TV. Can I get an autograph?" So he signs this envelope. And then my grandma, years later, like maybe 15 years ago, says, Jeffrey, I know you like James Bond. Here. So she gave me the autograph of the envelope. And because I love, he played Blofeld in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So I do have Telly Savalas' autograph just on a hotel envelope. No quote, no nothing, just Telly Savalas. So, I like that guy. He was solid.
Yep. That's dude. Him and he always had his lollipop.
Yeah,
he had that lollipop and them glass. That's what I said. I was like, I'll take a Telly Savalas. I got called a young Ben Kingsley the other day. I was like, I'll take that.
I can see that.
I'll take that. I'll take a Ben Kingsley comparison any day.
Are you going to play Gandhi in the sequel?
I'm going to be Gandhi in the sequel. Yes.
Yes.
I will have my machine gun like in UHF.
Yes.
Don't move, slime bags. But box office wise here, we're talking Guardians of the Galaxy. I think there's some chicanery here. We noticed a couple weeks ago, all right, it was at $475 million on Sunday going into Monday morning when I did my live stream. By, 8 p.m. that night, it had moved up $50 million, and that was not the weekend numbers. We'd accounted for the weekend numbers already. And there was a $55 million move it made over Ant-Man and the Wasp. And now we're sitting at 659, 122, 579 worldwide. This is another one that needs to go over the $800 million mark to turn a profit.
And it's not going to, because you got Little Mermaid this weekend, which that's all I'll say about that damn movie.
Right.
Fast and Furious just came out, and even though that shit the bed in America, it made money around the world, but it's the second lowest opening in America. The box office here is really, I'm glad you mentioned the summer of '89. I was with a buddy, we were at the Mario movie, and I said, this feels like the summer of '89 again. I mean, you really have big property after big property after big property, but unlike back then, I think this time you're going to have a lot of these films cannibalize each other, especially now that Disney owns 2/3 of the box office. It's like, yeah, it's all going to the same pie, but you're killing your brand. Like, oh, Guardians doesn't make much money because we put out a Little Mermaid, which is this and that. It's like, guys, stretch it out, spread it out. You're too much movies at once.
Yeah, and Disney's releasing all these, and it's like you don't realize what you're doing to yourself. Do you realize what you've done? Just when I think you can't possibly get any dumber, you do something like this and totally redeem
yourself. You still go to Aspen? You bet. Dude, you talk about like movies on tape. I watched that movie so much on tape that I have memorized the VHS bumpers. It's the Dumb and Dumber soundtrack, Mortal Kombat, National Lampoon's Senior Trip, the Dumb and Dumber cartoon, The Mask. Like, I love the Dumb and Dumber tape. That is I think it might be my favorite videotape of all time.
That's another one I rented and copied it. I have thousands of video cassettes at my mom's house. It's ridiculous. Spider-Verse 2 comes out next week. No interest.
Already?
None. Yep. I have none. The first one was great. This one, nope.
It's too much, man. Like, I used to be very down on the Spider-Verse and Miles, and I still don't like Miles Morales as a character. I think he's derivative and pointless.
He is.
Because Spider-Man's always appealed. Like, I hate how entertainment today is about white and black and Asian and this. Like, it's all about race. Look, Spider-Man was everyone's superhero, just kind of like how Superman used to be decades ago. Spider-Man would save every kid of every color. He was a poor guy. What it is, it's really not, in my eyes, it's not about race. It's about class and how you tell these stories. And Spider-Man was the working class hero. He'll save you if you're a homeless person on the street. He'll save the highest end person, and he's cool to everybody. Them trying to pick apart and make Spider-Man black Latino or this version, this and that. It's like you're defeating the purpose of telling a universal story that everyone can like. And this Ultimate Spider-Verse crap ruined it for me because it's the same characters over and over and over, and it's not fun. It's not cool. It's like opening your toy box. Man, I really went ham on Batman figures in the 90s. Do I really need Arctic Blast Batman and Green Neon Bat? It's like, and they made a movie out of that. And they're all it's the same character, just twisted slightly. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. You'll never have a bigger Spider-Man fan on this channel. Like, I've read these books. I know these characters. And I'm glad kids like it. Because the kid demographic is the one I'm never here to talk shit about. Because they're kids. They're happy. They're having fun. We all watch dumb crap as kids, too. But anyone out there that's, like, championing the Spider-Verse as being, like, great for cinema, I'd argue it really hurts cinema and entertainment when all you do is make the same character populate your movie. No villains, no differences. It's just, well, it's Spider-Man of Earth 9. It's Spider-Man of Earth 1999-99. It's like, please stop. Give us some villains. And Into the Spider-Verse is the least successful Spider-Man film theatrically. I don't think this one's going to be like a flop or anything like that. But I don't think the goodwill from Spider-Man No Way Home is going to roll over to this movie. And it's going to be... No. It will fail in comparison to the Mario movie.
Yep. Absolutely. Clone Geek says, remember when Spider-Man's supporting cast of heroes were diverse in powers like the Puma, Black Cat, Solo, Silver Sable?
I like them all. I bought all their action figures. I don't need to just buy Spidey. I'll buy everybody to go with him. And I don't care if they're black or white. If they're a good character, I'm there, man. Male or female. That's why, you know me, I collect all my high-end Japanese X-Men figures. That's why the women, I've spent the same money on them. Storm just came in the mail. I got Psylocke, ready to buy Rogue. It's good characters. It's not about gender. It's about good characters.
No. And that's the problem with the identity politics is they're acting as if nothing, they're like, you know, they say, oh, we need strong black female characters. Why haven't they made a Storm movie yet? If you, Jeff, you're a much bigger comic fan than I ever was. You know, I got back into collecting recently, you know, last couple of years. I always liked Storm in the X-Men cartoon. Thought she was awesome in the movies, you know, just the character, not necessarily the portrayal, but the character. Do you ever recall a time where anybody complained about Storm leading the X-Men because she was a black female character?
No, because people didn't talk like that. The internet has fucking ruined people into like...
Yes.
I know I sound like an old man yelling at a cloud, but if you're just slightly younger than me, you'll understand this. And if you're older than me, you're always going to understand this. But like, there was a shift, and I don't say 2016 because it wasn't that. It was before that. But there was a shift, and people just are like robots these days where we have to be virtuous. We have to represent this. We have to talk about these talking points in this order, in this way. It's like, no, it's internet journalists. That's what it is because they write the narrative. These people aren't educated people. What they are is they're low-paid interns, low-paid writers, idiots. Like my favorite guy over at Forbes magazine, they're low-paid idiots that have written the narrative of the social discourse. They're the people who've ruined it because everyone reads these things and they're like, I guess I have to talk like that. But it's like, go back in time. Look at a guy like a Walter Cronkite. Look at the reporting back then when it was more solid, when there was journalistic integrity. People don't operate like that in the real world, but the internet makes people operate like that. And never once had I ever thought, or I never heard anybody bitch about Storm leading the X-Men. Nobody ever bitched about any of the female characters back in the day because they were all well written and developed, and they weren't all white. Like, technically, you got Storm, she's black. You got Wanda in the Avengers, she's like Romanian or something, or wherever they're from. I apologize, but they're like, they were all different and diverse. Diverse doesn't mean different skin colors only. It means different places from where you come from, places of origin, obviously, stuff like that. Like, they've ruined entertainment, and these people that are now in charge of marketing are they control the narrative, and they're like, hey, this is how people talk, this is how people think. No, it's not. We're fed up with this shit.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't get to shift a narrative based on your own ideological beliefs, because those exist in reality, those do exist on a fringe. What you were just describing, it is a fringe that's bled in to the mainstream because of the internet journalists. And then we don't have writers for entertainment now. We have activists, which is the problem. And I looked at that the entire time I reviewed Batwoman. I gave up on Gotham Knights. I gave up after 4 episodes. My episode 5 Gotham Knights review is the beep. That's all, folks. It's like 7 seconds long. That's it. That was my review. And then I look at all my Gotham Knights reviews, all got, like, they're all up over 100 views now, which that's why I stopped. I was like, they stopped getting views. I'm not going to waste my time. It takes me 14 to 15 hours to produce one of those, and I have to watch the episode 3 times. I don't want to watch the episodes, period. I went through, I made 83 Batwoman videos. 83. Jesus. Yeah. My therapist, I think I paid for his vacation home in the Hamptons because of that. But
next weekend.
Wow, there you go. Enjoy. Have a great weekend. This is bad though. I look at some of the stuff like my son watches, and he watches all the old horror movies. I'm sorry, if I look, my tattoo is itching, so it's only so I have to like rub it or pat it. I can't like scratch it or anything yet. It's in that little like peeling phase. So
is it the Jason one?
Yeah.
That's
here.
A itching tattoo, dude. I saw that and I was like, oh man,
yep.
Like I'm a
those
little.
You in the.
Oh, here we go.
In the chat, who have, and I don't have a tank top on today, but I'll
so you go from the NWO to Captain America. I respect that.
Yep.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
There it is, right there. It's got my podcast, Mike. Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason. Got the pine trees. This is my tattoo artist, Nelson, the psychopath, a.k.a. Neil Herseg. Northern. Guy. Yep. He's this isn't a New World Order. This is the. Let me pull my sleeve out here. This is the new Wakuian Order, which
that's too sweet, bro.
We have T-shirts available right here. We have physical merch right here in the office, in the compound. We got large, extra large, and 2X for the big boys available in $12 plus shipping. I know Tina Bojan, I got to send you because you want one. I'll get you. And Jeff, just send me where you want yours shipped. I'll send you. Thanks, one, man. You're welcome. But so we got another. We're gonna talk some wrestling. Because So to introduce that, we got to go over here for these quick commercial breaks while I queue up this topic.
Whoa. Yes, sir, Daddy. This is the Incredible Hulk Hogan. And if you're looking for the greatest in wrestling action, the superstars of wrestling, this is the WWF, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, the #1 federation in all the world. If you want to see me hanging and banging every week, if you want to see Hulkamania running...
Did it stop playing the clip?
Yeah, it just stopped. He was talking about hanging and banging. I'm like, shit, Hogan, I'm listening, brother.
Hang on. We'll go back and we'll play it. Something happened on my end, so I apologize for the technical difficulties. Boomer moment, folks. Here we go. Here's the rest of Hulk Hogan's match.
Whoa. Yes, sir, Daddy. This is the Incredible Hulk Hogan. And if you're looking for the greatest in wrestling action, the superstars of wrestling, this is the WWF, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, the #1 federation in all the world. If you want to see me hanging and banging every week, if you want to see Hulkamania running wild, well, tune in right here each and every week, because what you gonna do when the Hulkster runs wild on you?
You've got a ringside seat Saturday at 7 on Channel 2.
I know what I'm doing Saturday at 7.
And you know what's funny? Detroit is a wrestling mecca in the United States. It really is. There's certain cities, Detroit, Chicago, Memphis, Charlotte. There's those cities that are wrestling meccas. And I gotta walk. It's nice to be able to do this off my green screen. I can actually just walk back here. And Katie's not. Katie, big shout out to Nerium. She's got Bonds to the Drive coming out soon. Said I had chicken legs, and I don't have chicken legs. But I've got this belt right here, my team ratings. This was going to be my world title when I got my title run. But this belt used to belong to a certain Detroit promotion. And I had it. We were using it when I ran Absolute Entertainment Pro Wrestling. It was our X Division. It was our relentless title, we called it. But it failed to make it back to the owner because it got lost when I moved. So I still have it here some 14 years later. And it's mine now. But that belt has been held by some very, very, very legendary people in Detroit. The Sheik. Dick the Bruiser. So yeah, that belt's been around the block. I kind of changed some of the stuff up on it, but yeah. So we're going to talk
a lot of good wrestling in Detroit in my days. I mean, obviously WrestleMania was there. I've been to the Rumble. I've seen a couple other shows. Survivor Series '99 was in Detroit, which is apt because that's the show where Stone Cold got hit by a car in the Motor City. So perfect.
I did it for The Rock.
Oh, shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty.
Oh, God. All right, so Mercedes Moné. Sasha Banks, for our WWE fans out there. I just call her Botch Fest Banks. She is a literal botch mania highlight reel. And do you have any thoughts on her right off the top, Jeff?
They're not positive. I never enjoyed her because, like you said, she's a walking botch fest, and I don't know how to phrase this without sounding weird. Like Zelina Vega, she's too small to look credible, even when she fights other small women wrestlers. She looks like a leaf blowing on the wind, or oh man, I got hit by a feather or something. It's just her punches are bad, her promos aren't shit. Like, she's only where she is because she's partially related to Snoop Dogg. And somebody liked her in NXT, like Triple H. It's like, Look, dude, I get it. You're going to have a better eye for wrestling talent than I am, but I watch TV, I'm a paying customer, and I have the right to tell you, I don't like her, and I never have liked her. I think her attitude, her ego, it's garbage. She represents the worst type of character, because she can't back it up. Like, no. I hate Charlotte Flair, but she backs it up better than Sasha Banks did. Same thing with Bayley. She might be annoying as shit, but she backed it up. She's the best of the four. Becky Lynch is fine. I've never had a problem with her. But Sasha Banks is just... I would say she's like a trash tier wrestler. I can't stand her. I think her ego gets the best of her. She's not a good actress. And I'm not going to bury the lead with what you're going to talk about, but I'm okay with what happened to her because I don't give a shit. I think she damages wrestling, and in 5 years, like fucking 2 years, no one's going to care about her.
Same. I've been hypercritical of her, and I've gotten a lot of criticism for it. Oh, and that's one of my favorite things is when you don't know what you're talking about. I was like, you're an indie fucking nowhere. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, dude, I've seen a lot of women on the indies that should be in at least like an AEW or Impact level that won't ever get that chance because they don't have the connections. And it's pathetic because she's horrible in the ring, like terrible. I think she wrestled Charlotte at Mania. How many years ago? I can't remember how many years ago that was.
Was that down in New Orleans? Because that was 2018. I was there.
Yeah, that match. Charlotte carried her.
Oh, was it? Maybe it was Florida the year before. I apologize. They all blur together.
No, right. That's the problem with the Fed now is they don't really have any differentiation between their sets. Everything is so homogenized there. That was one of the good things about WCW was every pay-per-view had a different feel. The Fed bleeds together. And to bring it back to Sasha Banks, she is tiny. I think she's an attractive woman. She has a nice physique, but she's too AJ Lee-esque, which is you're too small. She can't carry a match with a bigger girl. And she was supposed to be a heel half the time. When she was working Charlotte, she was a heel. and the heel's supposed to be the quarterback of the match. She cannot do that. She can't care. Charlotte, yeah, for all of her other things aside, when she's in that squared circle, she owns it. Absolutely owns it. And that's something that Sasha can't do because she doesn't have the skill. She doesn't have the mic work. Nothing about her screams that this is a transcendent talent, somebody that can help women's wrestling in the long run as opposed to do more damage to it. No, and she went she's in Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and she lost to one of my least favorite workers, Willow Nightingale, which I at least think she's more deserving than Sasha is, because Willow, for everything that I've insulted her for, can at least work a competent match. And I think it's funny that she uses the pounce when she's almost the same size as Monty Brown, who I've met and I have hung out with. He was really good friends with my buddy Manny from Saginaw, who ran Universal Wrestling Alliance, who pretty much gave me my start in announcing. And Monty came to our shows just to watch, and he'd hang out in the back. And it's funny, Monty Brown, trying not to stand out with a pink goatee. Those of you who don't know who Monty Brown is, he played linebacker for the New England Patriots. I think he's got a Super Bowl ring. He's from Saginaw, Michigan. He gave up wrestling to take care of his family. But he would go to the shows because he was friends with the promoter. And Monty Brown in Grayling, Michigan, trying not to stand out. Monty Brown is an extremely large black dude. A massive, massive man that built like a wall he had a pink goatee at the time. He's wearing a mesh shirt and like a ghillie hat. I'm like, he's trying not to stand out. I'm like, Monty, it ain't working, bro. It ain't working. But he was cool. Monty was cool. One of his finishers was the pounce, and Willow uses that. And where does Sasha fit into this? Well, she got injured last night during the match with Willow. Now, I'll scroll down here and we'll see. This is her, and the crowd popped for her. I don't understand why, but they did. Let me scroll down here. This is her getting carried out after her. Tell me she's not hamming it up.
That's why I don't respect her. This is hamming it up because she wants attention.
Yep. She's, I mean, not hurting that bad. She stops, fixer, bangs there. This is the finish to the match right here. Which, okay, powerbomb. And then she just sits there and eats her ass for a minute. But let's see. Hang on. Let me scroll down here because a lot of the video got deleted of the spot. Here it is right there. This is where she hurts her leg. Hang on. Ooh. Let's blow this up. And on her leg, when she hit, that's where she hurt it. That is a basic drop down. That is a basic. She was trying to give her almost like an inverted not a hot shot, but just a neck snap over that top. And we'll go back one more time. We'll kind of. But yeah, here's the spot right here. See?
Oh yeah.
That's pathetic. I'm sorry. That's sad. That you can't. How long has she been in the business now? And I mean, I know shit happens, but that's just self-awareness. And I mean, it's not like anything extraneous was going on at that point. You know what I mean? I know it's only a couple second clip, but to me, that's on Banks. That's on her. That's not on Willow. That's on her. She can't perform the basic part of the job without hurting herself. It's not like she was flying through a steel cage, trying not to land on a bar like what's his name did, Page, Hangman Adam Page, or no, Kenny Omega. In the match with John, I bleed when I frickin' take a piss Moxley.
He should get that looked at.
I think he should. I swear to God, the guy bleeds just like he sneezes and his forehead starts bleeding. It's
he's got Ric Flairitis. I mean, that's sad. It only affects 1 in 2 people per generation, but sadly, he's got it. He's a Cincinnati guy, so I feel for him.
Oh, Moxley. Jim Cornette hates him.
I'm not a fan of Moxley. I was okay with Dean Ambrose. Put it like this: he's a talented guy. I understand why he's made it to the big leagues and all that stuff. Yep. But like AEW, I'm all about creative freedom. But it's like, what's my creative freedom? What's your character? I'm just going to be a pissed off, bloody brawler. Like, and he comes at the Wild Thing, and he's got, like, his promos suck. Like, it's really sad that Roman Reigns has had a better career than that guy.
It is. It is. But at least he hasn't got beaten up by a fan like Seth Rollins.
Oh, dude, I lost respect for Seth Rollins after his girlfriend leaked all those photos and made fun of him and all that crap. It's like, dude, and all the shit that she was involved with. I'm like, man, you better choose your people better.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, she was a Yahtzee. And he was apparently just okay with that. I met him. I hung out with him a couple times after shows up in Kalkaska, and he's kind of egotistical, even back then. This is when he was Tyler Black in Ring of Honor. Do you remember the Age of the Fall gimmick they did, him and Jimmy Jacobs?
I was aware of him back then, but I wasn't watching any of it.
See, I barely did. I didn't know who he was. I was just getting into the business, and it was my tag partner was working his farewell match at Mr. Chainsaw Productions up in Kalkaska, which is run by Mikey Zero, who went on The Amazing Race with his girlfriend at one point. Yeah, Mikey's a good kid. We booked Mikey a few times to come in and work with us, but so we went to this little biker bar afterwards, which it was like half the locker room. It was like me, my ex, my buddy Billy, who he was our ring announcer when we first started our company, and Jimmy Jacobs, Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, and the Sandman, who I absolutely used to love when I was a teenager. And when I learned more about wrestling and the inner workings, I was like, oh, this guy's just a sack of shit. And then I hung out with him, and it's like I like him even less after hanging out with him. Not as much as I hate Sabu, but who I worked shows with for like 3 or 4 years, to the point where a promoter had to bail him out of jail because he got arrested for driving on a suspended license on the way to our show. Sabu is a shitbag. Like, I have no respect for him. Like, any respect I had for him as a fan, like, was gone after about...
Just like his body?
Like his valet, Melissa Coates, who he ran into the ground until she died. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I remember him trying to buy weed off me in Saginaw. We were out back of the venue after the show. There's like 6, 7 of us sitting there, just sitting there burning, a couple, just bullshitting, getting ready to leave. I had about a 2-hour drive home, and Sabu comes up, and he always had this little dog he brought to the show with him, and the guy he hired to drive him, this little Mexican dude, would drive Sabu to the shows. So he had this dog with him, and he's holding this dog, and he's like, he just jumps into the circle with us. He's a name. He can do that apparently. So, and he's like sitting there and he's in rotation. And he's like, "Whose is this?" I'm like, "It's mine." He goes, "Where are you from?" And I told him where I'm from. I bet you thought I was gonna say it on the air, didn't you? Jeff knows. Nobody, a few people know, but so I said, and he's like, "They got weed there?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Bro," he goes, "Can I buy some from you?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "I don't sell weed." I was like, "I smoke it, and I'm not going to call up my guy when I get home at midnight on a Sunday night and be like, hey, fuck you." Like, no. "Oh, come on, sell me what you got left." I'm like, "No." He got all pissed and, like, walked away. Like, half the guys in the circle, like, left because he's being a dick. I'm like, all right, fuck you. I'm like, here's half a joint. There, enjoy. Like, I mean, not quite the experience Adam told me about hanging out with the Godfather, but, hey,
I had one. Oh, was Superman Adam Shawhan there with me?
I think he was.
Dude, well, what we were doing with The Godfather. I completely forgot, so...
Yeah, see, I was like, and that's when me and the wife got sick. That's when we were supposed to come to Cincinnati the first time. We couldn't make it. I was so bummed after I saw this. I was like, oh my God, they can take out The Godfather. He's fucking amazing. The dude's awesome. What up, Tony? I see Tony in the chat. Hail, brother. Soul Assassin,
is that
yes,
like
you can.
The same Tony I know?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't change his name.
Yep, he's now monoTony.
Oh, dude, this is for everybody, but I'm going to be out in Vegas for my birthday on October, man, so I'm going to give you a call. We should get together and hang out.
Nice. I'm trying to get the wife to go back out there in October. Because that's
when the birthday, because all the podcast guys are going already. All my, like, Pete, or Phil and Dan are going to go. I'm turning 35, so we're making a huge event of it. So if you can, time it just right, man, we can all hang out together and have a good time.
I would absolutely love that. I loved Vegas last year. It was a blast. The Godfather owns Cheetahs out here, and we could have went and met him there. It's a strip club. Oh, she's still working at Showgirls. Oh my God. Yeah, Showgirls. Buy weed for me. Are you a narc? Right? But no, I'm looking. Oh wait. Here we got a good question for you from Clone Geek. How would you fix Spider-Man as a comic? That's a good one.
Well, what I would do to I checked into the more recent run to see what's up, and the whole Peter having to be cucked out to Mary Jane and the new boyfriend is stupid. Like, I hate that. To fix the comic book, I would have Spider-Man be your basic, working-class, struggling guy trying to balance power, responsibility, and a superhero. And then, I would have him go up against relatable stuff. I'm tired of having Spider-Man be Tony Stark. That's what I would fix, because yes, it's about hero wish fulfillment and all this other stuff that you want in a film, but damn it, I would not have him be doing half the crap he's doing. Maybe like a hard reset. Maybe Mephisto would come back and be like, hey, I know people hate this, but I hate the modern run more than I hated the shit that got replaced before. I would just try to bring it back to the classic elements, make the characters look like they're supposed to, act like they're supposed to, and basically find a reason for Spider-Man to be fighting these villains again. Because it's like, if you read the initial run through to the 90s, everything kind of evolves. And then all of a sudden, they restart it, and it's just kind of like redundant for the last 23 years. So I'd find like a way to do a nice long-form narrative to make Spider-Man run interestingly for at least 5 years minimum. I would do a 5-year plan, and I'd break it down. I'd do specific story arcs. I wouldn't bring back dead characters like Kraven. I think Kraven should stay dead because that's the best Spider-Man story ever made. But I would, God, there's a lot I would do. And I hate to say it, I would draw it myself just for fun because I can. That's what I'd do. I would write it and draw it myself. Would hire a couple Marvel inkers and some great colorists, and we'd produce some good-looking comic books. But, God, it's honestly, that's a really dense question because there's so much I would do. But thankfully, they fixed the art. Like, John Romita Jr.'s drawing it again, and the book looks awesome. I'm all on board for that. So yeah, there's a lot I would do. Sorry for giving you such a vague answer, but that's a deep one that I'd have to think about.
Yeah, that's very layered because there's so much work to be done. Like you said, you've got they've the only ones I liked the Black Cat Strikes run they did in those
was that recent or was that the Kevin Smith one?
I don't think.
Oh, that's the Evil That Men Do story.
Yeah, I'd have to dig it. I have to dig them out because I got those from, sadly, one of the comic shops during the pandemic that went down was the Comic ER, which was not too far from me, but they would ship. The guy would ship to me, which was nice, and he sent me free books too, like just out of nowhere after a couple orders, which was really cool. But yeah, that there's a couple I go to down in Midland. Because there's a TNT Toys down there where I go to buy my vintage stuff, and there's two comic shops in Midland, and one of them has a bigger selection of like tabletop gaming stuff, which I like. There's some cool comic shops and vintage stores out there still. So guys, go patronize those, but be sure to support the independent creators. Jeff, talk about Woke Busters for a moment.
Oh, so folks, I'm excited to talk about Wokebusters because I have some new production people. We're ramping the book up. Well, not ramping, it's been ramped up. We're working on it all the time. So what it is, it's a Ghostbusters-style parody of wokeness and whatever you want to call the modern world we live in. But the book doesn't make fun of wokeness just exclusively. It makes fun of those who over-aggrandize wokeness and are seeing it in their Cheerios. So what it is, it's the story of four guys, three scientists and a janitor who basically start the Wokebusters business. They go out west to Portland, Oregon, where they have great success, but they find out that Portland is the way it is because it's been kind of socially engineered to be that, well, we'll just call it woke for the sake of this quick plug. So the guys have to fight these creatures that are these ugly representations of humanity and society. They also have to deal with this like secret cabal that's trying to take over the world. And it's a comedy. It's an epic. This book is big. The reason it's taken me so long is I didn't draw you a 25-page comic book and say, hey guys, it'll be out eventually. This is a minimum of 80-page epic. It's mostly done. I pencil it. Now it's getting inked professionally, and we got a great colorist that works on it. But it's fun. It's a funny book. It's got all the tropes of classic comedies. When I was researching the book, I studied John Landis films like Animal House. I watched The Blues Brothers a dozen times for the fucking car chase, just a couple pieces of inspiration. And of course, it's a love letter to Ghostbusters. But it's also not a direct ripoff. It's very unique. It's its own thing. And yeah, I'm working on getting a trailer. If anybody out there that knows about comic book trailers is available, let me know. I'm looking to hire somebody to help me create some animations and some trailers. And what I'm doing in 3 months' time is I'm going to be at Horror Hound, and I'm going to be taking physical stuff for Wokebusters. I got some merchandise I'm going to be selling, but I'm going to be getting the word out there because I look at it like this. We had our pre-launch with the first Indiegogo, and now we're going to kickstart it into higher gear and get everybody out there because Wokebusters is the biggest comic book event this year. Folks, it'll be out to coincide with the new Ghostbusters movie at the end of the year. But like I said, it's an 80-page epic. It features the 4 guys from WCBS in roles that are nothing like the show. And I'll let you know this is the last parody comic I'll be doing. I have new ideas, new characters that I want to create. But Wokebusters is awesome. I'm very proud of it. And if you're an artist like me, you know what it's like when you're working on pages. And sometimes I sit down and go, this is better than what I wanted it to be. So these characters don't just stand around and talk. Like, I love the Ghostbusters, but they only do a little bit of fighting. Wokebusters, the ending is more akin to the Avengers or one of these big epic movies like that. They're flying from the skies. They're fighting these other monsters with their heads up their asses. It's crazy. It's funny. It's zany. And as soon as it's ready, I'm going to be sharing a whole lot more of it with you, including how you can get it. So go to wokebusterscomic.com right now and pre-order that. And like I said, we're going to kickstart it into high gear the closer we get to the film and get that out to you. So thank you to everybody who's already backed it. And for those in the future who want to get a copy, you're going to want to get a copy because we got multiple different copies. If you like the Kenner Real Ghostbusters covers or the Kenner's Real Ghostbuster toys, we have a cover based on that. And I want to do something a little special. I want to get, you remember Ghostbusters 2, how they have the painting with the baby at the end?
Yes.
I want to, when I kickstart it into higher gear and go to that platform and do a couple things, I'm going to take some of those funds. I'm going to get a professional commission. Well, all of it's professional because I only work with the best. But I'm going to get this commission of all of us with the baby Stay Woke Trigglypuff Man, which is the villain of the story. So, guys, this book is just oozing with Ghostbusters love. And if you love comedy and you hate the modern entertainment landscape of woke entertainment, then this book is for you. We go to show you that you don't have to be angry to take a bite out of wokeism.
Yeah, I love it. I backed it twice already.
Thank you, sir.
Dude, you're welcome. I'm so looking forward to this book. There's the link is right there in the chat and the channel link to WCBS right there. Like, you guys aren't going to subscribe to them. It is in the description to the video, too. Hail,
Thank you, man.
CJ.
I appreciate that.
Oh, dude, you're welcome. Absolutely happy to help out. You're talking about the real Ghostbusters toys and such. Hang on a second. Let me do this. Yeah, here's the firehouse I bought for Trey for his birthday right here. Like I said, I've shown this off a couple times. I got some new 3D printed doors. The only decal I had to replace was right here on the sign. The rest of them inside were in perfect condition. No need to be replaced. And as a bonus, the little the containment unit, it works. It's everything's still functional in there. And actually, I got an order from a place we hear Jeff talk about all the time, Big Bad Toy Store.
They need to sponsor me.
I'm telling you, I've seen your collection of stuff you have unopened, and it's like, yeah, I ordered these. I ordered all the figures for the kid for his birthday, and yeah, here they are. We got all of them. Very last one here, of course, Egon. But yeah, I always. What's that?
Are you looking for the other monsters?
I need a couple of them. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I'll be on the lookout for you if you want, because Ollie's has the real Ghostbusters toys out there. Now, it's hard to find the Ghostbusters, but they have like the toilet monster. They have this other purple eye monster and something else. So if you want those, man, I'll pick those up and send them up to you. So
yeah, if you could, I'll PayPal you for them if you scoop them.
Oh yeah, we'll worry about that later. But yeah, if you want those bad guys, I'll go out and look for ones for the little Etep, and we'll hook you up with those, man.
Yeah, I need those. I saw in your video too, because I noticed when you were doing your last toy video, there were some Wind Raiders for the Motu line. I need one of those. I need a Wind
next
Raider.
time I go out, I'll text you, because I don't know if you need
Yeah.
Battle Cat still. I saw Battle Cat again, but I'll just text you the next time I'm in the store, and you tell me what you need, and I'll get it for you.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Yeah, so back Wokebusters, get on that. I'm like I said, you guys got to support the indies. We work here at the channel with a lot of independent comic creators, as you guys know. On the panel every Monday night, The Horseman, we got Vinnie from Vinnieart. I've got every single one of his books back there. Infinitale Chronicles. We have Red Gaze, even though he's not on the show much anymore. You know, Red is another one. Dread Gaze now. You know, I've got Sunsworn. We've got you know, the novel, the comic, Nerium, Katie, Bonds, The Drive, and The Cursed Child coming out. She's already working on the third book. I mean, this is Wonder Island. I got that one I backed. There's so many creators. I got Six Gun Gorilla coming from Brian Christogal. So there's a lot of great books and projects. Adega, who is in the chat, his novels. Guys, there's a ton of great entertainment out there, and I'm still writing my Friday the 13th movie. Working on that, so a little slow going, but you know, time is my problem. But I have the end written, and I've got the opening and part of the beginning of the movie written. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, and musicians. My theme for the Camp Crystal Lake channel, CJP, he's done all the GoldenEye music. Redone on his channel, and he's got great original tracks. This guy's a talented musician. Thank you, CJ, for reminding me, sir. I apologize. But yeah, there's a ton. Go check his channel out. That's in the link to the video. Every video we put out, all of our people are listed in there. They're great people, good people, the best people, all the people. But no, guys, thank you so much for listening and watching and supporting the channel. Our subscribe star link, while we're demonetized, is I'll throw that in the chat one more time. I just put a video up there the other day. What did I put up the other day on Subscribestar? I think, what was it? What did I put up there? Oh, it was the promo, the May 19th promo. Jeff, we just had May 19th. So since you're here, this before we sign out, I'll play this real quick here. This was my May 19th clip I used on the show. Right, here we go, folks.
Yes, sir, we promised you a great main event here tonight. Listen here, Andre, the China WrestleMania!
Hulkamania is running wild.
My God, what a run! It's not the world is watching.
Last Monday night, when I was on Raw, and Pete Daddy Dollar got in the ring and faced down not one, not two, but three of his greatest challengers, and walked away still Team Ratings World Heavyweight Champion. I thought I was on top of the world. I didn't think anyone could stop me. But no, there's a thorn in Pete Daddy Dollar's side. And ladies and gentlemen, I intend today to pluck that thorn. And after today, May 19th, nothing and no one can take this belt from me. Mark this day on your calendar, May 19th.
Dude, I remember May 19th very well.
There you go, folks. There's my ridiculous foolishness. But yeah, go check out the last Yuri Grab a Bitch video we did. Myself and my editor, Goodstuff. Big shout out to my editor extraordinaire, Goodstuff Comic Skater. Remember, DM me if you want a shirt. We got them on the Teespring store too if you want the variant colors. We are going to have a red and black tee coming out for the new Wakuin Order Wolfpack, and also, of course, the LWO. We'll do that too, just for shits and giggles for you guys, because I love you. Thank you, Jeff, for coming on this morning. I appreciate it, brother. Always,
dude, thanks
man.
for having me. It's always a blast hanging out with you, dude.
Absolutely, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Soul Assassin, Superfan Adam Shawhan, Keymon Bell, CJP, Clone Geek, Tommy the Guinea Pig Collective, monoTony. Let's see who else we had here. Pursuing Paranormal, Brightest Day, Tina Bojan, Brutal Morningwood, Tollbat. Let's see, I think I got Soul Assassin, Fake Tie Dude, Phantasmagorical, Nerdette's Newsstand, who needs to have me back on again soon. Let's see who else we have. Gap After Dark, my mod. Thank you for posting links. Adega Outlaw. And anybody I missed, thank you guys so much for showing out this morning, turning out, watching the show. I'm Etep Okuian from The Place to Be Reviews. We've been here with all these. We don't see you. Have a great day. A pleasant tomorrow. We'll catch you tonight at 8:35 for Monday night Going In Raw.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
I could do this all